Hey everyone. Something a little unusual today. Um, I got an email from Tom. Hi, Tom. And he wrote to me, Hi, Bull. I don't know if this is the right place to send it, but I saw this list on Reddit. Could you please give it a review? I think that's actually the first time someone has sent me a net list, that they wanted me to review. So, an interesting little proposition. I haven't done this before, but yes, of course, again. Um, I think mentally I'm moving into a place where I think I'll have to do fewer of these reviews and then do more of them clumped together. Um, Simply because it takes time for me to do reviews, and they sort of clog up my to-do list. So all of the tutorials and top tens and whatever I've planned, they sort of drown out in people asking for list reviews. So I may be moving into doing more list reviews at a time, because I still want to do some of these. So and if you want to send me stuff about your lists, my email's in the description. Um, So let's go and see what Tom found on Reddit, shall we? This is the list. So it's a German reinforced platoon, M15/42 Kugelblitz. The title itself says a lot, doesn't it? It's 12 order dice, 1,000 points. So someone has spent all the points. For me, 12 order dice is a little low. Um, that really depends on your local meta, doesn't it? But and it also depends on what you're putting in your platoon. But for at least like mainland European meta, I think going into 13, 14, 15 order dice is the Goldilocks zone. 12 is in the low end, where you will feel order dice starved some of the time. Now, Tom, I don't know where you live, but judging by your name, you're in the English-speaking world somewhere. Um, so if at least if you're in America, then 12 order dice might not be so low, because what I think we're seeing is that the American meta has lower order dice counts typically than the European one does. So that might be a thing as well. So that's the first thing I would notice. The second thing is, look, he's got a Waffen-SS second lieutenant. This is the cheapest lieutenant you can get. At 30 points, yes, he has blind obedience and all that. So he's not very good, but he is the cheapest tax you can pay for a lieutenant. For me, that screams that someone is spending way too many points on something else. Because if you have 12 order dice and are still buying very cheap units, then you're spending your points on something. And this for me screams Death Star list already. Having just seen these two things, it screams that this should be a Death Star list, um, which is typically not very good. But let's go down it. Waffen-SS units, you're going to need to take at least one of these if you want to bring the Waffen-SS Lieutenant, but fortunately they're pretty good skirmishers. In this case, we have an 8-man unit. It doesn't need to be 8. It could be cut down to 6 or 7. Double Panzerfausts. I think a single Panzerfaust could also, you could get away with that, because typically you don't want to go hunting. You just want to threaten away enemy armor. So the second unit here is basically what I would set up my Waffen-SS units to be. 7 men, rifles, 1 Panzerfaust. Perfect. German LMG team. Bing! Yes, please. 35 points. They have 5 shots. They're not fixed. That is what you should buy. And again, somebody's buying very cheap units here and still only getting 12 order dice. Medium mortar, inexperienced. Again, a very cheap unit, very effective. All of these are very effective, but where are they spending the points? Armored cars, here we go. 250/9, that's the light autocannon recce vehicle that has the closed top. It's a half track, it's really, really good. A Polizei tank, again, so this, somebody is spending points on armor here, right? The Polizei tank is basically a Docker Stewart. So 145 points, and it's got what, 20 MMG shots, distributed a little differently from the Darker Steward, but yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Second platoon, that will be the Kugelblitz platoon here. Waffen SS Lieutenant again. So again, not spending many points on infantry. Again, we see this distribute. He's distributing 2 units, one of them with double Panzerfaust, and one as a skirmish. And then another armored car, an 8 rad. Oh, I think actually I would rather have the 250/9. It is good, don't get me wrong, but it's a light autocannon mounted in a turret with a coaxial MMG for 100 points. I think you could do better. And then a Kugelblitz. The Kugelblitz is, of course, amazingly good, but it is a Death Star. It's a 9+ tank. It's got 2 turret-mounted heavy autocannons. It shreds Stuarts. It's really, really dangerous to most light stuff. And especially maybe to veterans. But is it worth it? That this is 4 armored vehicles. All of them are focused on, there's a like a very heavy focus on Daka, right? Autocannons all the way. And this list does have anti-tank and some anti-infantry. Like the Polizei tank is anti-infantry, right? The rest is actually not that anti-infantry. I think this has one glaring weakness, and that is it's not very good at killing enemy infantry, this list. For me, I think I would take out at least one of the armored cars and get myself at least 2 more units. For this second platoon here, this armored car could easily be cut out and just given another LMG team and another light or medium mortar here, or even better, maybe a Nebelwerfer. That would give you much more, many more tools to play with, and would be really beneficial in many other respects, like the LMG team that is an infantry team, so they can take objectives, right? I don't think this 8 rad is doing that much for the list, not delivering new types of capabilities or and I mean, with a Kugelblitz, you're already very likely to hit whatever you're aiming at with that autocannon. The same goes for both of these armored cars. So I think you could just cut out one of them and be done with it. Um, I also think that that the armored car to cut is the 8 rad because a half track can go into areas range. The 8 rad cannot. So yeah, it's more maneuverable. You can move up further, but that doesn't matter. You want to sit and cover most of the time anyway. So I think this 8 rad needs to go. Right, an interesting little experiment looking at net listing here. Tom, thank you so much for sending the list. It was an interesting one to go over. And right, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Cheers.